Every
what
now
fan
and
base?
then I get
Yeah.
a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Come on, Biv, take it over.
Turn
Come
around.
on. Every now and then I get a little... But anyway. Come on,
Okay,
dude.
so-
If anybody can pull it off, it's ARP.
News, reviews, interviews, and all things metal. From the Kensington Place Studios, it's According to Metal with Jason and Biz.
According to Metalheads, it's 2017. It's a new year and a new episode of the According to Metal podcast. And glad that you guys are here. Lots to talk about. 3 killer reviews. Great guests later on the show. We'll get into that here in a second. And of course, you know, I'm in the Kensington Place Studios. This is Jason, freezing my ass off here. And joining me, as he always does on every episode, Biv, ready to talk some metal. Biv, what's up, dude?
Oh, I am totally stoked for this episode. We've, as 2016 has gone by the wayside, we definitely we learned a lot. We gathered a lot of good friends. And now we're really we're poised for 2017 to have a giant year, to bring you along with us and to continue to talk metal and to spread the gospel of hard rock and heavy metal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you that 2016 was kind of our training wheels were on, if you will. Networking, learning a lot more about a lot of people. I'm really excited to share with you some things we obviously won't share with you now because, hey, suspense. But we have some really killer guests lined up over the next couple of months already of what we're going to bring for you and really kind of step up our game in regards to not only the quality of the shows, also trying to minimize the length of the shows, but also give you content throughout. Instead of just waiting every 2 weeks for an episode with, one-off reviews that we're going to do. Biv, of course, is a much better writer than me, so expect some pretty cool things. If you're a fan and you've been listening to us for quite some time, we really, really appreciate it. Thank you for listening to us in our infant stages. This thing's just growing more and more and more. Speaking of growing more and more and more, a lot of new likes on the Facebook page, which is great to see. So if you're hearing this episode from a link that was posted by a buddy of yours on Facebook, or maybe you're on Twitter, or you've seen the link to this show and you're listening for the first time, make sure you like us on Facebook, which is, just According to Metal Podcast on Facebook. Type that in, click like, you'll get that. Also, Biv runs the Twitter part at ATMetalPod. We'll talk about that later on in the broadcast as well, but a lot more followers, a lot more people listening and liking the show, a lot more interaction with other bands and artists, some exciting stuff on the horizon. So we're very, very glad that you are here, and we got a killer episode. And, of course, if you're new to the show, welcome. Better late than never. But on According to Metal, we talk news, reviews, and all things metal. That's kind of what we do. News, reviews, interviews, and all things metal. My gosh, I forgot. We have an interview later on in the program. Oh, dude. Awesome guest. I don't want to give it away just yet, so stick around. We'll share that with you here in a bit. But we kick off every episode talking the latest metal headlines, the latest news. Biv, you ready to talk some latest news in metal, my friend?
Oh, let's do this 2017 style.
That's right. It's metal news. Check it out.
It's time to give you some headlines. The metal news you need to know right now.
The latest metal news. Okay, sorry, stop being cheesy. But we do have the latest metal headlines we talk on every episode of According to Metal. And Biv usually handles that. He's behind the According to Metal news desk. I mean, that's where he resides at. I mean, he lives there practically. But I actually want to kick off the news segment really quick. If there's certain things you know about my buddy Biv, you know that there's certain things that are turn-ons of his. He likes walks on the beach. He also likes metal. But you combine metal and ballads together. Metal ballads really, well, let's just say bow chicka wow wow music is really going on in Biv's head. It's not the actual music. It's sensual for him. And speaking of sensual and absolute fanboyism, Axel Rudy Pell just announced, Biv, that they are recording a ballads album, of course. If you're new to the party and new to the show, you know that Axl Rudy Pell is fronted by the one, the only. My fanboyism is out of control with Johnny Gioeli, and I cannot wait to hear that album. And I'm not even a ballad fan. You know who is? Biv. ARP has a ballad album, and guess what? They just announced, as part of the news, that not only are they having an album, a metal album ballad that they're releasing and recording, but Bonnie Tyler, from Total Eclipse of the Heart fame, is recording a song with the band. So you combine Total Eclipse of the Heart and Bonnie Tyler and ARP and metal ballads, and I think Biv needs to take a shower. That'd be my guess, Biv. Can you give us a status update behind the According to Metal news desk of what's going on right now based on that news? I'm just curious.
Well, you can only see one hand. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, God.
No, in all seriousness, I love Axl Rudy Pell. And, you were doing fine until you said Bonnie Tyler.
Oh, shut up!
I just, who are we going to pull in next? Wilson Phillips? I mean, that's getting a little bit out of control. What fan base are you? What fan base? Yeah.
A little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Come on, Biv, take it over.
Turn around.
Come on. Every now and then I get a little. But anyway. Come on, dude. If anybody can pull it off, it's ARP.
Well, I'll give you that. But let me ask you this. Let's face it. Metal does have a business side, right? I mean, yeah, you do things for the love of metal, but you also do things knowing that you've got to recoup your investment at least. What fan base are you hoping to get out of adding Bonnie Tyler to a record?
I don't know, other than, what's good about Bonnie Tyler is she has that raspier voice, though. You know what I mean? It's not Celine Dion. I mean, it has that.
No, it's very Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, so I don't think it's as, and I don't know, dude. I mean, here's the thing. Make no bones about that. We've talked about this. I don't care. Call me sexist. Call me what you want. 9 out of 10 female-fronted bands I don't like, because I don't like the operatic. I just don't like the vocals. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. It's not that. I love Arch Enemy. Guess what? They don't sing like normal chick singers. Sorry. This is how it is. But Bonnie Tyler would be interesting only because even though she's not metal, it's not that Evanescence-like, soaring operatic Nightwish vocals, and I'm no offense to them, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'll be interested to check it out, dude.
I hear that Mariah Carey can use a new gig.
Oh, God. You know what? In fairness to her, though, and, side note, and friend of the program, Tony Piccoli from Minute Sonic Destruction, mentioned this as well, is, everyone, of course, is talking about, her New Year's Eve performance and whatnot. It sounds to me that it was clearly a monitor issue. Like, she wasn't able to hear what it is she was doing. So, I mean, the average person, who doesn't know anything about music or live performing goes, oh, my God. And rightfully so. But if you understand that she has no idea where the part of the song is that she's supposed to sing because she can't hear any of it.
Well, she's not singing it. She's lip syncing it.
Well, that's true. That's a part. But you get my point. Like, that's the other issue is you're trying to lip sync.
There is no serious artist on this planet with any integrity that would ever agree under any circumstances to lip sync their own material.
Well, a lot of
them
do,
though.
She
is a fraud.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that, but she's trying to lip sync, and cannot hear where she is in the song, so her lips aren't going to match up with what the hell part of the song's being played. You know what I mean?
And she got busted for fraudulent entertainment.
Dude,
I have no sympathy for her whatsoever, or any band who ever lip syncs, to anything. Now, I know it's done. I get it. But if you have any integrity about you at all, you would never agree to that.
Well, you know what's funny? And I cannot believe that within the first 5 minutes we're talking Bonnie Tyler and Mariah Carey. But I will say this. Was it last year? 2 years ago when Bruno Mars did the Super Bowl halftime show. The Red Hot Chili Peppers in their entire career have never, ever, ever not performed something live on television. They refused to do it, to your point. They did it because for some stupid-ass reason, there is something I was reading where they cannot, like they can sing, but none of the band could play their actual instruments like the bass or guitar or anything like that because you can't have wires. So they were playing the instruments, quote unquote, but nothing was plugged in. Does that make any sense?
It makes sense, but it still makes you fraudulent.
Well, no, I agree. But I mean, that's a Super Bowl policy, I guess, which makes no sense to me.
Well, then you don't play.
Well, true. But then you had Prince, who, how many years ago, just absolutely kicked ass. And he was clearly plugged in.
But Prince is a vocalist, right?
Well, also can shred. I mean, the dude was an incredible guitar player. Well, obviously.
Was, exactly. But my point is, you would never, as a band, a Red Hot Chili Peppers, a Metallica, a whoever, you would never agree to that if you have any integrity about you whatsoever. Because of the possible situation, number one, you have to wait against getting busted. Just like EMF did back in the day, just like Mariah Carey just did. Number two, secondly, because your fan base is counting on you to hold the banner of your fandom. And, so to a pop singer, maybe it's not as critical as it would be to somebody who is a band, so to speak, like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Sure.
But nonetheless, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but the bottom line is she got busted, and I don't feel bad for her. So
no, I don't either. And you know what's funny here, real quick? I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if you're new to the program, we started out talking about Axl Rudy Pell ballads, and now we are talking Mariah Carey and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Clearly, this isn't something we planned on, but that's just the point.
And Wilson Phillips.
And we don't plan any of this. That's why we try to make it as authentic as possible. We just throw a story out there, and we talk about it, just like you do. You're metalheads, you're music fans, you're going to shoot the shit and talk about news and metal and stuff that's going on. We do the same. We don't have bullet points and go, okay, now let's talk about this story. Make it authentic, dude. That's what we do. Hopefully that's what makes us different about what we do, because I didn't think within 7 minutes we would be talking about the Red Hot Chili Peppers at the Super Bowl halftime show and making fun of Mariah Carey on New Year's Eve. But anyway, we still have metal to talk about, right, Biv? I'm done talking about my news portion. You usually handle this stuff, so take it away.
Well, I have a Dave Mustaine story for you.
Oh, go ahead.
So you may have heard about the Megadeth boot camp. Did you hear about this?
I did.
Are you familiar with the story?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
well,
so
I don't know much of it, but I did see a headline like Dave Mustaine's having a boot camp at his house or something like that, or what are the details?
Yes. Well, he permanently lives now in Tennessee.
Okay,
but he still has his home in California. And so what he's doing is he's having the first ever Megadeth boot camp. And it's March 10th through the 12th of this year.
Oh, wow.
And the Megadeth experience packages are available with prices starting at $1,999 and ranging up to $5,499. So this is per person, by the way. Now, here's a quote from Dave about exactly what it will entail. Quote, it's going to be at my estate in California. I still have my home in California. I live in Tennessee full time now, but I have a home in California. It has a vineyard on it. It's got a river running through it, a 200-year-old oak tree farm kind of area, real neat. And we're going to invite all the fans. That is, as long as you're paying. That's my own input. They come the first night. We kind of get to know everybody. And then we'll have a dinner and a wine tasting. And then the next day is all clinics all day long. How to play guitar, how to play bass, how to play drums, how to write lyrics. And then we're going to have the brewmaster from the Canadian craft brewery, Unibrow, which collaborated, by the way, that's the same brewery that collaborated with Dave Mustaine on the Megadeth beer, Atot Le Mans. They're going to be there as well. We're going to have a couple of other people there, the producer that worked on the record with me, and we're going to be recording in my studio there. We're going to have the original track, Symphony of Destruction, that anybody who wants to go in there and can sing over the original lyrics or sing the original lyrics over Symphony of Destruction can make their own version to take home with them. Other features include